Hello, lieutenants and economists. The video clip I'm going to show after my little introduction here is me reading an article in Time magazine about how teachers are underpaid. And after going through it again, this is just an excerpt from the podcast, but going through it again, I should have read the article. Always skim articles first, and then that way you keep it a natural and organic response when going through it. I should have dissected it more because it is disgusting and appalling how delusional and spoiled and entitled American teachers are today. There is a woman who makes $69,000 a year. Now keep in mind, this is for 9 months a year work. This is not 12 months a year because teachers get summers off. One woman is making almost $70,000 a year, and she's complaining that it's not a livable wage. There's another woman in here, she's paid $55,000 a year. You're no Tony Stark, but that's certainly a livable wage. And again, for 9 months a year salary. And she's also complaining about it and donating plasma. And it's just this big woe is me sob story. But I'm going to provide a link down below. It's to Time magazine, completely worthless publication. But it got a lot of publicity on the social media, which is all that really matters now. But I want you to go and even read through the article if you want. You can certainly listen to the excerpt that I provide after this. But realize how delusional teachers are today. Right? I'm going to say it again. Teaching is not a real job. It's an easy job. I taught. And if you think teaching is a hard job, it means you've never worked a real job in your life. You never have. But it is getting insane and delusional where you can make $55,000 for 9 months of work in Kentucky. This wasn't like she's living in San Francisco, in which case I say, well, whoa, you got to get paid more than that. And the cluelessness that they have no idea how good they got it, and then they think that they're going to complain and whine and ask the taxpayers for more, most of whom don't make $70,000 a year. To simply do what is nothing more than babysitting children. And don't you even say, oh, you don't know what it's like. I do. It shows you just how pampered teachers are. So I wanted to provide this little introduction. It's a lengthy clip. It's about 21 minutes. Please listen to it its entirety, or just read through the article, which will take you longer and probably get your blood pressure up. But this is proof positive, not of poor journalism of Time, because that's all Time has ever been capable of, but proof positive of just how delusional and out of touch American teachers are with reality and how entitled they are and just how lazy they are. They're just and I make a great prediction. Ask yourself when listening to this, what personal financial decisions did they make in their budgeting that may have put them in a financial predicament? All right, all you teachers out there, I hate every single one of you. You guys were scumbags. You all deserve to be fired, and we should all be taught on the internet. Check out the podcast over the Clarity Podcast. We'll see you guys then. Toodles. This is from Time Magazine. A couple people sent this to me. All the women, we're going to start. We're going to lead with stereotypes. All the women showcased in this article are fat and ugly. I don't think any of them are married. I was looking for rings beforehand as I was perusing through it. There's one man, if you could call him that, and it's about how teachers don't make enough money in America. Now, keep in mind, this is Time Magazine. Time Magazine is like Newsweek. It's only old people read it. It was one of the most betraying periodicals. People in the 50s bought it. It is full of communists. It's not journalism. It's propaganda. And you can only find it, thank God, now in dental offices who really should get rid of it. And even I knew when I was a kid I didn't trust Time. I think they were anti-Reagan. Something about Reagan. Oh, but this is one of the... It's kind of like the Wolf Pack, or not the Wolf Pack. There was a group of Nazis that held out somewhere in Austria long after the Nazis surrendered. They were going to hold out. This is like the baby boomer journalists holding out. And it has no credibility. This is propaganda. But I'm going to read through this to show you how delusional. These women are about my age. And I'm just going to pick it apart. And I'm going to use this as an example why you don't become a teacher. And only idiots do. The title: I work 3 jobs and donate blood plasma to pay the bills. This is what it's like to be a teacher in America. Well, I'm no super high IQ genius. Oh, wait, I am. Maybe you should change jobs? That dawn on, when the Guardian wrote that article about the adjunct faculty in San Jose having to sleep in their car and some of them resorting to prostitution. Again, maybe I'm just crazy, but maybe you should look for a different line of work. Oil rigs are hiring again, ladies. You will make a lot more money. Oh, that requires actual work. And you like your cushy little jobs. Here's what I get a kick. Here's another thing. We haven't gotten an article. They're making so little money. They have to donate blood and plasma. Why are you chicks all fat? I remember the day. This is how old I am. I remember the day when if you were poor, you were thin. That was still a thing. Starting in the 90s, late 90s, all of a sudden the poor people were fat. You women, especially this gal here, the middle one, is, I'd say, morbidly obese. The other one pushing morbidly obese. The other gal, she could stand to lose some weight. But ain't none of you missing meals. There's so much telling, but a picture does tell you 1,000 words. Ugly, fat, probably no husbands. You had no desire to cut your budget. And look, if you gals just ate at home, you cut your caloric intake by 2/3, there's a little bit of money there. You wouldn't have to donate blood. And I don't even have to read the article. This is one of those instances where you can just read the title, look at some pictures, like, yeah, okay, what? You work hard and you slave away for a really easy job, but it's the hardest job in the world. No, because you're a low IQ fuck who didn't want to try hard to begin with. That's why you went to education. And you're not that bright, because if you were that bright, you'd leave education and you get a job that paid more. And here's a question I got. Am I going to have to read about your mortgages you couldn't afford in the first place and your car payments when I myself have never borrowed money to pay for a car because I wasn't that stupid? Beware of fat people bitching about poverty and how tough they got it. Oh, this is a long one. That was a lot of pictures. And they're all serious looking. Who wrote this? What hypocrite wrote this? Katie Riley. Let's see what worthless background she has. What is that? They never put their background in. They never put it in. Katie Riley. I fight for social justice and changing the world. What's it like living in this industry where nobody worked a real job? Oh, I already went to time. Katie Riley. Muckrack. Education, politics, Huffington Post, Reuters, Daily Mail, Business and Entertainment Weekly, Yahoo, Globe and Mail. All right, so what do they call them? Tabloids. She has 1/4 the followers I do on Twitter. Here we go, her website. Here's where she tells us about how much she avoided work. Kate Riley is a reporter from Time Magazine in New York City, where she writes about politics and education for the Breaking News team. This is breaking news. Teachers don't make a lot of money? Really? Breaking news. No shit. Wow. She has previously covered general news for Reuters, state politics, and Raleigh's News and Observer. She's a graduate of the University of Chapel Hill, majored in English and political science, learned to love journalism, managing editor at the Daily Tar Heel. If you are working, lady, you graduated and you're still working at the college paper? Writing and reporting articles. She has written, wow, this is sad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She has written 15 articles in the past 3.25 years. That's her life's work. Oh my God. You know what they should program algorithms for in the search engines? For people who actually aren't just writing shit that people want it. Like, hey, does this person have any substance to them? Do they have any serious background to them? I've never ran across the same journalist twice reading these bullshit one-hit pieces. They're never the same person. I'm like, oh, this person wrote it again. Oh, there's never like a Bob Woodward that comes up. It's some no-name 20-year-old fuck who, when you look at the background, it's all predictable. It's almost pointless to go through it anymore because you know what it's going to be. They got less Twitter followers than me, which is sad because I'm not a professional journalist. Which, what the hell? I mean, I guess that's good. Let's go right through this again. Hope Brown. Well, with a name like Hope, there you go. Is your dad? Did you know your dad can make $60 donating plasma from her blood cells twice in 1 week, and a little more if she sells some of her clothes at consignment store? Right, because there's so much material, you can make 5 shirts out of one of her panties. It's usually enough to cover an electric bill or a car payment. Car payment there? What did I say? What did I fucking say? Oh, my sides are hurting. I'm so good. This financial juggling is now part of her daily life. Everything, something she never expected almost 2 decades ago when she earned a master's degree in secondary education, became a high school history teacher. 1, why did you get a master's degree when a bachelor's would suffice? 2, what did you pay for it? I wonder if she still has student loans. That would just be the coup d'etat. Brown often works from 5 a.m. to 4 p.m. at her school in Versailles, Kentucky, then goes on to a second job manning the metal detectors and wrangling rowdy guests at Lexington's Rupp Arena to supplement her $55,000 annual salary? What? How are you not able to live on $55,000? With her husband, she also runs a historical tour company for extra money. How are you not? What? $55,000 is a handsome salary. You're not rich, but you're not starved. Oh, that's where all the food's going. If you include her food budget, she only nets $12,000. I truly love teaching, says the 52-year-old. Fuck what you love. There's the first tip right there. Everybody loves it. I love teaching. Well, then expect the market to be flooded. I'm surprised you make $55,000 a year. Says the 52-year-old, but we are not paid for the work that we do. Now, wait a minute. So she makes more than 55. The supplements are 55. She's in the 60s, 70s, thousands, I'd imagine. This proves its budget. The woman just spends way more money. Heaven help she's not teaching math. Teacher, what's 10,000 minus 5,000? I don't know. That has become the rallying cry of many American public school teachers who have staged walkouts and marches on 6 state capitals this year. Too bad. Teaching is not a real job. It's very easy. I've done it. Don't tell me. The only reason that you think it's hard is because none of you teachers worked a real job in the past. Go work on the oil rigs. Go shovel shit. Go work in landscaping. Go roof. Go do a real job. Don't tell me sitting there and you're so bad at time management and budgeting, apparently, that you can't figure out how to grade papers. From Arizona to Oklahoma and red states, blue, red, and purple, teachers have risen up to demand increases in salaries, benefits, and funding for public education. Their outrage has struck a chord, revising a national debate over the role and value of teachers in the future of public education. You teachers should be replaced by YouTube and self-certification and self-study. There is no reason to have public schools anymore. None. For many teachers, this year's uprising in decades in the making. There hasn't been an uprising. You haven't cited it. I didn't notice a bunch of people going on strike. This is standard time lying and propaganda. The country's roughly 3.2 million full-time public school teachers, kindergarten through high school, are experiencing some of the worst wage stagnation of any profession, earning less than average. In inflation-adjusted dollars, they did it in 1990, according to the Department of Education. Well, too bad for you. Maybe you shouldn't be teachers. Meanwhile, the pay gap between teachers and other comparably educated professionals is now the largest on record. Oh, well, we're going to compare them to engineering majors? In 1994, public school teachers in the U.S. earned 1.8% less per week than comparable workers, according to the Economic Policy Institute, a left-leaning think tank. So I could throw that article out. By last year, they made 18.7% less. I don't believe it. If it's left-leaning, why even write article? Why do research? Why? It's particularly grim in states such as Oklahoma, where teachers' inflation-adjusted salaries decreased by about 8,000 in the last decade to an average of 45,000 in 2016, according to Department of Education data. In Arizona, teachers' average inflation annual adjustments are down 5,000. Don't care. Don't care. See, it's never the parents with children's mouths they got to feed. They got to pay the extra taxes. We're never concerned about that. And I'm sorry, you girls are gluttons. You're fat. Don't tell me this. The hypocrisy that these gals are on the front covers. Time came out with multiple covers. They say, hey, we're not making them. Here's, if you've watched it already, watch some of the spaghetti westerns. I forgot the director. Oh, who directed Good, the Bad, and the Ugly? And Duck, You Sucker. Sergio Leone. Okay, I thought he was the musician. Oh, Ennio Morricone was. All right. The director frequently, not always, but frequently in the movies would highlight gluttony, where the bad people would just be stuffing their faces, and he'd focus in on the lips, and he'd have the actors eat very aggressively with crumbs and smattering all over their faces. And it was to evoke disgust on your part that these people were gluttons. This is the same thing. You're supposed to tell me that you guys are all starving and you guys are morbidly obese. Fuck off. I wish I had the food like that when I was in college. I'm just so sick of that. Oh, we're so sick. Teaching is easy. It's bullshit. You should be thankful you got the job. And if millions of people didn't go and major in education, then maybe your wages wouldn't be going down. I know economics is not exactly the cup of tea of public school teachers, but, have you thought about just leaving the field? Become an accountant? Oh, that takes work. Engineer? Oh, that takes work. The decline in education funding is not limited to salaries. 29 states were still spending less per student in 2015, adjusted for inflation. Well, why did you pick 2015? What did it look like if it was 2014? I don't trust this person who writes articles because she is biased. What I'm really trying to point out here, I'm not only trying to make fun of teachers and point out what hypocrites they are. I'm trying to show you why time just is not, it really is not worth the paper it's printed on. It isn't. You have a biased journalist who's quoting leftist think tanks and quoting teachers who are biased right there with data that is seemingly cherry-picked. And I'm not kidding. Picture worth 1,000 words. I'm sick and tired of fat people telling me they don't make enough money and that they're poor. I got to find a picture of me back in college where I was 118 pounds. It wasn't pretty. Adjusted for inflation than they did before the Great Recession. Wait, still spending less percent in 2015 adjusted for it then. Okay, what about 2018 now? A recession happens. Everybody's supposed to suffer except the teachers. Teachers are just going to keep making more and more and more. Leaving public schools dilapidated, overcrowded, and relied on outdated textbook and thoroughbred supplies. Sure. Too many teachers. Those trends are a result of decades-long and bipartisan war on public education, born of frustration with teachers' union, a desire to standardize curricula, and a professed commitment to fiscal austerity. Yeah, we just can't blow $100,000 per student, huh? Those damn taxpayers who actually work real jobs to pay your fucking salaries, they might want to keep some of their money. How dare they? This has led to widespread expansion of charter schools, which are publicly funded but privately operated. Thank God. And actions such as a move in Wisconsin's legislature in 2011 to strip teachers' pensions and roll back collective bargaining rights. Good. Everybody else has got to go on a defined contribution program. Why not? Why are you guys special? This year, Colorado lawmakers voted to raise teachers' retirement age and cut benefits because your life expectancies are increasing. Look, do you want a pension or not? The reality of pension finances is just lost on these people. If you currently keep up the current rate of benefits that you promised before, you're not going to have any more. Do you want a retirement package or not? Well, we don't understand exponential math. As states tighten the reins on teachers' benefits, many also enacted new benchmarks for student achievement with corresponding standardized tests. I know, dang, we actually want those kids to get educated. Curricular changes and evaluations of teachers' performance, the loss of control over their classrooms combined with the direct hit to their pocketbooks was too much for many teachers to bear. Then leave. The wave began in West Virginia, where in February and March, some 20,000 teachers walked out across the state. Because West Virginia is just known so much for its education. Educators there who made on average 47.5 or 45.7. And I have dyslexia. I need a government handout. In 2016, refused to enter their classrooms until their state met their demands to fully fund insurance benefits and increase salaries. Instead, they marched to the Capitol, passed out bag lunches for low-income students who normally rely on free school meals. Once again, taxpayers paying for mistakes. And watch as public support flooded their way. After 9 school days, lawmakers caved and approved a 5% wage increase. Later, the specter of a similar strike, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Faced opposition. Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos criticized striking teachers, suggesting they were failing to serve their students and urging them to keep adult disagreements out of the classroom. Well, how are the Democrats supposed to get future voters? Ba, 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 ba. We have to organize even harder and even broader, says Los Angeles teacher Rosa Jimenez. People are fired up. Yeah, Rosa hasn't missed any. Social studies teacher. Amazing there's no math or chemistry teachers or calculus teachers. When Elaine Hutchinson's mother started teaching in Oklahoma in 1970, she made about $7,000 a year. In 2018 dollars, that's roughly $45,000. Nearly the same salary. Okay. Hutchinson, 48, fourth-generation educator. So, 4 generations of parasites who didn't want to work for a living, whose daughter also plans on becoming a teacher. Of course. Because it's such a shitty job, you're not warning your daughter about it? I want to be paid what I'm worth. You are overpaid what you're worth. I'm not going to read through this. I'm just trying to look for anything. Nationwide, estimated average public school teacher salary is $59,000. That's handsome. That's fine. Public is going to shift the perception of perception. Even in conservative states, many voters back tax increases to support public education. Link, please. Nashonda Cook. Carroll Leadership and Technology Magnet Middle School. Oh, my goodness. Leadership and technology. We're not going to teach you that technology. That requires math. We're going to teach you how to say you're a leader. What's her teaching thing? They want you to pay for the services they provide you. It says Nashonda Cook, a teacher and single mother of 2. Of course. Are you going to teach them to use birth control, Nashonda, or do you not understand the concept of income per capita? You're poor because people aren't giving you enough money, I'm sure. I can't tell you how many letters I got this summer said final notice. Utility companies do not care that you had a great day with one of your students. They don't care that you're coaching the soccer team. No, they got to care about keeping the grid up. And if they don't make money, then the electricity goes out for other people. They want you to pay for the services they provide for you, says Nashonda Cook, a teacher and single mother of 2. Imagine that. Other people are sacrificing their time in life, and they want you to pay for it. Wow. Cook, who makes about $69,000, often skips doctor's appointment to save the copay and worries about paying for her eldest daughter's college education. What is it? It's not about wanting a pay raise or extra income, she says. It's just about wanting a livable wage. Lady, 70 grand is a livable wage. I didn't even make 70 grand working in banking. Wow. You're going to pay your daughter to go to the same worthless degree in school and you make $70,000. You understand? This is even better than I thought. They're bitching about making $70,000 a year. What would be livable? 6 figures? You want 6 figs? Would that be enough? When would it look? My God, guys, you want to talk about never being satisfied? Be you communists or women? I mean, what is enough? It'll never be enough.